Good morning, children. How are you? Hoping all of you are fine and safe. Dear students, in the previous class, we have completed chapter 2 Physical Quantities and Measurement. Today, we are going to start new chapter number 4 Simple Machines. Students, in this chapter, we will learn about work and energy, second, simple machines, third, types of simple machine, fourth, functioning of simple machines, fifth, efficiency of a machine, and last, care of machines. Now, work and energy. We will see work and energy. Whom we will say work? Let us see. The term work is understood in everyday life, has a different meaning in scientific language. In physics, work is said to be done if a force acting on the body moves it or change its position or shape in the direction of force acting on the body. Dear students, these are the example. We will see some examples related to the work. A boy picking his school bag from the ground. This is called a work done. A girl riding a bicycle. This is the example of a work. Third, girls playing hockey. It is also the example of work because there is displacement also and force is also being applied. A man pushing a pram. Pram means a small vehicle which is by whom a small baby played. बच्चों की गाड़ी. Pram means बच्चों की गाड़ी कहते हैं. However, when a body does not move even when the force is applied on it, work done is zero. In the following examples, no work is done. Let us see some examples. First, a child standing with his bag and waiting for the school bus does no work as he is not moving. A boy is picking his bag, lifting his bag, but he is not able to lift it. So there is no movement in the bag after using force, applying force also. That's why it is said that there is no work. Next example is similarly when a person pushes a tree, he is also not doing any work because there is no movement in the tree by applying force. So for work it is necessary that if we are applying force, by applying force on any object, and when the object moves from its position, then only we can say that work has been done. Otherwise there will be no work. Next topic we will see about energy. Whom we will say energy? Dear students, energy is the capacity or ability to do the work. This is called energy. Let us see here. The term work and energy are very closely related to each other. Ever since we wake up in the morning, we start doing a number of activities after getting up. We take bath, leave for school, study, play, and do various other activity that engage us the whole day. You must have noticed when you play or work for a long time you get tired. This is because when you work, energy in your body gets used up. In fact, to do work one need energy. Therefore we can define energy as the ability of a body to do work. So we may say that energy is the cause and work is the effect. So that's why we can say that energy is the capacity or ability to do the work. Now next topic is simple machines. Let us see. In physics, a machine is an object that allows us to perform a task with lesser effort than if we do it ourselves without any help. Machines can either be simple or complex. There are two types of machines, simple machine and complex machine. So let us see first simple machines. Simple machines are basic mechanical devices that we use in our daily life, in our everyday life, such as scissor, doorknobs, bottle opener, pencil sharpener, hammer, board pins, sewing needles, etc. Complex machines are made up of combination of two or more simple machines. For example, a bicycle which has wheel, lever and pulley is a complex machine. So complex machine is the combination of two or more simple machines. Next we will see, in this chapter we will learn more about simple machines. Then a simple machines work on the principle that is neither provides energy by itself nor does any work on its own. It work on an object only when we do some work on it by applying force. The force applied on the machines to do work is called effort, denoted by capital E, and the resulting force exerted by the machine is called load, and it is denoted by capital L. Next we will see mechanical advantage. What is mechanical advantage? A very important parameter to understand in reference to simple machine is mechanical advantage. The ratio of the load lifted by a machine to the effort applied on it is defined as mechanical advantage. Therefore, mechanical advantage means MA equals to load L upon effort E, L upon E. Now, mechanical advantage of a machine can be greater than 1, equal to 1 or less than 1. There are three possibilities. Now let us see all these possibility. If mechanical advantage is greater than 1 means that load is greater than effort, and we say that the machine is a force multiplier. Therefore, mechanical advantage is a measure of the force applications. That means how much times the magnitude of force has multiplied achieved by a machine. Note that mechanical advantage is a pure number. Second possibility is if mechanical advantage is smaller than 1, this means load is smaller than effort and mechanical advantage is equal to 1. This means load is equal to effort. From the above expressions, it is clear that if the mechanical advantage of a machine is more, we need to apply less effort and vice versa. Now, dear students, we will see types of simple machines. There are 6 types of simple machines: lever, inclined plane, pulley, screw, wheel and axle, and wedge. Let us now study them in detail. First we'll see about levers. Lever. A lever is a rigid bar or rod that can move about a fixed support or point. This fixed support or point about which the lever rotates is called fulcrum. A lever is used to lift heavy weights with minimum amount of effort. For example, in order to move a big stone with hand or with the help of rod, a person need to apply a lot of force, but if a small stone is kept as a support below the rod and force is applied from the other end, the stone moves with lesser effort. Let us see. In this example, the big stone is the load and the force applied is the effort, and the small stone which provides support is known as fulcrum. To understand the principle of a lever, consider a rod with fulcrum at point F. At the end of the rod, effort E is applied which lift the rod load L at the other end of the rod. The difference between the fulcrum and the point where effort is applied is called effort arm, and the distance between the fulcrum and the load is called load arm. So dear students, what is load arm? The distance between load and fulcrum is called load arm, and the distance between effort and fulcrum is called effort arm. Let us see. Since a lever amplifies the input force, the load gets balanced by the effort applied about the fulcrum. So we have the expressions load into load arm is equal to effort into effort arm, or we can say load upon effort is equal to effort arm upon load upon effort is equal to effort arm upon load arm. That is called mechanical advantage. This shows that mechanical advantage can be greater than 1, equal to 1 or less than 1. When effort arm is greater than equal to or less than the load arm respectively, Some examples of lever that we use in our day-to-day life are hammer, tongs, scissor, plier, nail clippers, etc. Lever are categorized under three different classes: class 1 lever, class 2 lever and class 3 lever. This classification is based on the position of fulcrum, load and effort in different classes. So dear students, today this much only. We will see next in the next class. Thank you and take care.